I wake up slowly, not suddenly, not excited, slowly, like my body doesn't know what day it is yet. My eyes open just a little. I stare at the ceiling. The room feels quiet, too quiet. Usually on Christmas morning, there's noise. Someone talking, something falling, music playing, something burning in the kitchen. But today, nothing. I reach for my phone without thinking. The screen lights up. 10:42 a.m. I sit up immediately. No, I whisper. No, 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 no. I rub my eyes and look again, hoping my phone is lying to me. It's not. I'm late. Not just late, Christmas late. I jump out of bed, almost slipping on the blanket. My hair is a mess, my face feels puffy, and my brain hasn't fully turned on yet. I rush to the window and pull the curtain aside. Outside, the world is already awake. Kids are laughing, someone is walking with a box wrapped in red paper. I hear music drifting through the cold air. Christmas is happening, and I slept through the beginning of it. I stand there for a moment, just staring. Then I laugh softly to myself. Of course, I say. Of course this would happen to me. When I walk into the kitchen, the smell hits me first. Cinnamon, tea, something sweet. Mom is standing by the counter stirring something slowly. She looks tired but focused, like she's been awake for hours already. Dad is sitting at the table, reading something on his phone, calm as always. Mom turns her head and sees me. "Oh," she says, "you're awake." That's it, just that sentence. I smile awkwardly. "Good morning?" Dad looks up.
Good afternoon.
He corrects. I groan. Please don't do this. Mom sighs and goes back to stirring. "We waited for you," she says. "But Christmas doesn't wait forever." "I know," I say. "I'm sorry. I didn't sleep well." Dad puts his phone down. "You slept very well," he says. "That's the problem." I grab a mug from the shelf and pour myself tea. My hands are still cold from the bedroom. I take a sip and lean against the counter. Mom glances at me. "Go wash your face," she says. "You still look like you're dreaming." She's not wrong. Grandma is sitting in the living room when I come back. She's wrapped in her shawl, sitting comfortably, watching the room like she's already seen this moment many times in her life. She looks at me and smiles. "So," she says gently, "Christmas finally found you." I sit beside her on the couch. "I messed up," I say. She chuckles. "You woke up late. That's not a crime." "It feels like one," I say. She pats my hand. "When I was your age, I once slept through an entire family visit. Everyone ate without me." I look at her. "What happened?" She smiles. "I ate later. Life continued." That makes me feel better. She reaches into her bag and pulls out a small wrapped candy, placing it in my hand like it's a secret. "For energy," she whispers. I grin. "Thank you." By the time my friends arrive, the house already feels louder. The doorbell rings, and before anyone can answer properly, the door opens. "Maya!" They come in laughing, talking over each other, bringing cold air and excitement with them. "You're alive," one of them says. "I thought you'd still be asleep," another adds. I hug them one by one. "I woke up late," I admit. "We know," Sophia says. "Your mom told us." I sigh. Of course she did. Emily pulls out her phone almost immediately. "Don't move," she says. "The light is good right now." "Please," I say. "I haven't done anything yet." "That's the best part," she replies. She takes a photo, then another. Dad walks past and shakes his head. "This generation documents everything," he mutters. Emily smiles. "Yes, sir, that's how memories work now." We sit together, drinking tea, eating snacks, talking about nothing important. Someone knocks over a decoration, someone else fixes it. Grandma watches us all with a soft smile. Outside, the sky is bright but cold. We decide to go for a short walk before it gets dark. We put on jackets and scarves. The street is decorated with lights. The air smells clean and sharp. People are everywhere. Families, kids, couples, groups of friends. We walk slowly, laughing at small things. Then we see him. Santa. Not the magical flying one, just a man in a red suit, white beard slightly crooked, standing near a small stand, handing out candies to children. We stop. Is that real Santa? Someone whispers. He looks tired, I say. As we watch, Santa waves at a child and takes a step back. And then he slips. Not dramatically, just enough to lose balance. Everyone freezes. For 1 second, no one knows what to do. Then Santa laughs. He stands up, brushes his suit, and says loudly, "Even Santa needs better shoes." People laugh. The moment breaks. Life continues. Grandma nods. He handled that well. I laugh until my cheeks hurt. When we return home, it's already getting dark. The lights inside glow warmly. The tree sparkles. The room feels full. We sit together, family, friends, voices overlapping. Some people talk, some listen, some just sit quietly. I look around. Mom is finally relaxed. Dad is smiling. Grandma is humming softly. And I realize something. I woke up late. Things didn't go perfectly. Nothing followed a strict plan. But it was still Christmas. Still warm. Still real. I lean back on the couch and take a deep breath. Maybe that's enough.